Dan, Graham, Bennett, and Dan. This is my first hackathon, so I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this is an awesome idea. It's great to get involved in the community. I'm a Philadelphia person, born and raised, so this is it's great that everybody's coming together through technology. So I'm looking forward to the next few of these. So what we wanted to do was introduce our problem, introduce the solution that we were able to come up with, express with you guys a couple of the obstacles that we experienced, how we overcame some of those obstacles, give you a quick demo, talk about what our implementation model is going to be, and what the next steps for the project are. So what our problem was that we find that education technology is too complex at the school level for teachers. We find that calling parents daily for a teacher is time consuming. We find that especially in the Philadelphia area, students are falling behind and parents have a tough time keeping up and are often unaware. And that consistent communication from the classroom to the household is key. So what was our solution? We wanted to come up with a fast, easy to use online notification system. We wanted to have different types of communication to help eliminate any barriers. We wanted to have a one-step student import so teachers would be able to use it very quickly, very easily, and get their classrooms up and running. And we wanted to use a low-cost technology. Our target audience, and why this came up, was that educators at small school districts or educators at large school districts with overly complex systems may have a tough time introducing low-cost technology. What we'll see at a large school district such as Philadelphia is that they'll buy a large system which fits the needs of 270 schools and often doesn't hit the niche that 1 or 2 or 3 schools may have. So teachers may or may not like the solution that was purchased. There may even be things that are in place, but they don't go as far as those teachers would like. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to hit the audience that had certain needs that the district may not be able to conquer right now. We'll eventually get to it, hopefully. And how do we get something quick and easy and set up for them? The obstacles, obviously, schools have limited IT resources. Schools, as we all know, as we read the papers, have limited budgets. Teachers oftentimes have limited technical expertise. If they do have technical expertise, from what I understand, they're quite busy at the schools helping everybody else who doesn't have technical expertise. We know that parents have limited technical access points. Some have email, some have internet, some have landlines, some have text messaging, some have cell phones. We wanted to address those. And there's also the legal issues concerning student data and parental consent with contacting people outside of the classroom. The way we were able to conquer some of these obstacles, we created step-by-step PowerPoint instructions for the teachers to use for how to sign up for this application. We created a simple template for how to let teachers upload students. We created a step-by-step PowerPoint instruction on how to create a CSV file on their own and about to upload students. We created a guardian consent form to opt in or opt out of this service. And we also support phone calls, emails, and text messages to hopefully conquer some of those access points. The technology we used was a Django Python framework. We used SQLite database on the back end. We used Nginx HTTP server, Twitter Bootstrap front end, and Twilio Cloud Communications. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to have Dan step in and give you a quick demo of what we were able to accomplish in just 2 short days.
Okay, so I'm Dan. I actually used to be a teacher, and I had a lot of these issues. I had to make weekly phone calls, and it took forever. So I'm going to walk you through our application, Teachercom. This is our landing page when you sign up. First of all, you see our message, revolutionize your parent contacts, save time. For those of you who can't see this text, again, we automatically call, email, or text parents. We can call multiple students at once. It saves literally hours every single week. So to walk through it, first thing that I would do is I would register for an account. Let's get started now. Luckily, I already have an account. I'm not going to bore you with this part, but were you a new teacher, what you would do is you would right now go to Twilio.com, sign up for a Twilio account, copy and paste your Twilio account SID and auth token, as well as your phone number right here. Click register, and it takes you right into the app. So I'm just logging in quickly here, and that whole process, for those of you that haven't done it, takes about 5 minutes. And you can preload your Twilio account with a $20 credit, which will give you 1,000 phone calls. That's enough for a while, or 2,000 text messages. So what I have right here is my home screen, which is where I can send messages. And you can see right now I don't have any students. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go to my student section and upload my CSV of all the students. I have this right here. Graham's telling me this is not the correct file.
That's the really old one.
Okay, go to desktop. And then demo.
So we're going to go to desktop.
There you go.
Alright, so I'm going to upload my CSV. And all of a sudden I have students. So I go back to my messaging tab, enter in Ben, Graham, Dan Friedman, Dan Lopez, and say Mike Gallagher as well. And in this case, I'm really, really sorry to report that all of these students failed the test. But normally what I would have to do is I would have to call all of their parents one at a time. I'd have to make small talk with them because that's always part of it. And calling these 5 parents would probably take me an hour, like realistically. So instead, what I'm going to do is enter in my failed test message, click send messages, and all of a sudden, our messages should be sending via the Twilio API. So give it a second, see what happens.
Oh.
Sound of failure.
Sound of angry parents.
Oh, good.
So for those of you that couldn't hear it, it said, "Hi, this is Mr. Lopez. Daniel, that's my name, just had a test and failed. Please follow up with me if you have any questions." All 5 of us just got that exact same message, exact same time. It took me...
With the student's name replaced.
With the student's name replaced. They were not all Daniel, except for me and Daniel Freeman. So they all got that message. We probably just saved 45 minutes of a teacher's time right there. Extrapolate this to your 120 students per week, however many you want to call. You get hours every single week. And we actually have here a teacher who requested this project who is going to be using it as soon as it's up. Sophia, do you have anything to add about this?
No, well, I would just say I suggested this to Dan because I spend 4 or 5 hours every week. I work in Philadelphia public schools saying like the same 6 things. Like, your child didn't do enough homework this week. Your child failed the quiz. Your child has been absent and needs to get their makeup work. And you have the same conversation over and over and over, and you could be tutoring a kid during that time or doing something else more useful than having the same conversation over and over and over and over. So I am very excited about this. I actually had lunch with another teacher before I came here and told her about it, and she was very excited about this. She also works in a Philly public high school, and so you know, this is something that, like, as soon as it is ready, there is a market of people who will be chomping at the bit to get this. So thank you for the people who made it. Appreciate it.
So the other stuff that we have, we've built in call logging so the teachers can actually go in and see all the calls that have been made and report those to their principal, which is really important. And we support, again, in addition to phone calls, we support SMS and email, because not every parent has a landline, not every landline works. They might have a more stable email address if they wish to be contacted at. So I think I'm going to turn it over to Mike for the rest of the presentation, but that's Teachercom, that's the app.
So we just want to go over a couple quick points to end the presentation. Right now we offer 2 implementation methods. Our suggested model will be for users to sign up at teachercom.org like Dan showed you. Some of the hurdles with that would be just understanding the FERPA privacy concerns of housing student data. And some of the terms of service would need to be written so that everybody's covered. Another potential model would be for teachers and internal school IT departments to run the application at their school. The hurdles with that, like we mentioned before, are limited IT capabilities at schools. Finally, the next steps for Teachercom. We wanted to add customized schedules for messages so teachers could do it at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., maybe get a feel for what's a good time to notify parents. Obviously, as you know, not everybody's home at 6, not everybody's home at 8. People like to be notified when they're home, not busy, not eating, as we all hate phone calls during dinner. We will move it potentially to a scalable production environment, determine the viability of a hosted solution, and obviously polish off what was just demoed. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the weekend. If you have any questions, you can please raise your hand now.